Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Ciao, Davide. How are you?
It's cool. It's cool. I stay
Nice.
in London, so
Nice. I'm in Milan now. It's a very beautiful day. And so let's go on. Let's keep it shorter than 20 minutes. What's it is all about? Um, this is an idea that we had with Davide when we were having a dinner in Milan, as we used to have once in a while. And so we decided to start a video blog about business topics, about management topics, about organizational topics. And we were just looking for a subject to start from. And we had the chance to tweet about job titles, isn't it, Davide?
yes, correct. In a sense, we wanted to bring live our discussion in front of a pizza.
Exactly. So let's assume our pizza is on its way to our table, which is always better than not. And let's start. So everything started from a tweet that I tweeted on the 12th of April this year, and I just wrote, I just stumbled upon this job title, head of people. I mean, head of people. Other ideas? Pharaoh, Caesar, Hellsman. So this was my tweet. And Davide, your answer was a few days after was next, literally head of people, which was a nice answer. So let me just, so many people commented this tweet also on Facebook, saying that still people is better than calling people human resources. And well, I have to admit, ignoring the fact that I've been tweeting about this for years, but let's go on. And second, and quite important, is that their point was it is more common than not. Which they just referred the frequency, the how common it is to use such a job title. So let me tell you my point, and then I'm curious about your answer. So my main point is that yes, it's true. Calling people is lots better than human resources, because human resources recall a culture in which every person can be replaced, like printers or uh, any other device that you got that come from the manufacturing world, which is not true. In knowledge work, you cannot replace people as you like, because you're gonna lose lots of implicit knowledge. And also, people are affected by factors which are not easy to engineer. Like, let's keep it simple, like love. Okay, if you lost your partner one day ago, probably not the same resource as you were 2 days ago. But my point is that not the second part of the job title. It's not yet people in head of people. The problem is in head of. Do we still really need to have heads of anything?
Well, it's probably that's the most interesting part of the question, more than the funny thing of being ahead of people. Because I would argue that in part, yes, but it's very useful to have that kind of reference. So I find very, very useful labels in terms of waypoints. So if we consider in that sense, it's useful to have someone that if I'm coming from the outside, so I'm coming from a different part of the company, I know who to speak to get to the right person, right? So if, for example, I'm having any kind of issue with a colleague, or if I want clarification about a policy, I know that I can ask directly that person, and that person will send me to someone else that has the specialization I need. So I find that side of things very useful. Now there are two different layers. The one you mentioned about the actual word instead put an emphasis on the hierarchy, which is what I feel it's the real problem there. So it's not really about the labels. It's more about the kind of hierarchy that all these superficial labels are trying to avoid without really negating them. So head of people is still very hierarchical. So it's keeping exactly the same company structure as before. And I think that's the main issue there, because it's just a facelift. It's not really a change in the structure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I believe it so. Also, I think job titles foster an organizational culture based on fixed roles rather than dynamic value. You are asking people to produce. Actually, let's be more specific. That's exactly what happened to me when I was caught into a fixed hierarchy in the past. And the problem was that I felt bounded in a box from which people were asking from me always the same kind of actions, although even they knew they could be able to ask me for other kind of value, which my job title was not alluding to. And I felt this rather as a waste more than value. And so my problem with job title is that they foster a culture in which you are role-centric rather than value-centric. And you know, I'm a lean guy. I love lean thinking, and I love to tell in a clear way value and waste apart. And so I perceive job titles as belonging the waste side of the company or the organization. Although I agree with you that from the information architecture point of view, they are like the wings for the airplane. They provide with all the drag, but they're still needed to fly. So job titles could be something similar, so something that is having a cost and is a waste, but it is still a necessary waste. On the other hand, innovation is something disruptive, and as long as you don't think out of the box, you're not getting out of the box. So yeah. I truly think that switching from head of human resources to head of people is not stressing the paradigm enough, let me say, okay? I would say that I would love to see something better, just because I saw something better.
Yes. Well, let me just add you a distinction, because you used the word role, and I think that that's an interesting word, because I use the word role in a slightly different way. In a sense, it's a little bit more similar to or movie production, right? So where, in a sense, the job title is like actor. So your job title is you're an actor. But then, as an actor, you take multiple roles. So if you're doing one movie, you will have one role. If you're doing another movie, you take a different role. So the way I use the word role is, in a sense, exactly the kind of hit you were giving, in the sense flexible. Roles are not determined. At the same time, the job title, as in this metaphor, is, yes, fixed, but tends to be also very generic, right? So I feel that this kind of combination could be very interesting to explore, in a sense. So everyone has a job title, it's fine, but these are probably I don't know, I may throw a number, like it probably depends on the company, but I would say 4 or 5 for each company. You mean like macro categories, not really specific, narrowed down, very specialist things. And then everything else is a role, which can change entirely from project to project, from group to group, from activity to activity. That includes a leadership role, for example. So you can take the leadership role on one project, I can take the leadership role on another, because we are the best person and the best people to do that in that specific context.
Yes.
And this change, for me, it's if we take this model as valid, which could be an improvement, but of course it's not perfect, then for me the issue switches from the label itself, which is enough at this point flexible, to communicating it. So it becomes a matter of discovery.
Exactly. It suddenly become a usability problem, and a sort of a company user experience design problem. So how do external people and also internal people which are far enough discover the value that you are able to bring in when needed and as needed and when needed? So I don't have solutions right now, though I am running very interesting experiments with a company which is called Cocoon Projects, and which could be the subject for our next sessions. But actually, I saw something working different, and I'm very interested in how this will unroll in the next years.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that there are very different companies that are exploring that, right?
Yeah, so, you work for a very nice company from this point of view, right?
So Automatic does really good expression. In a sense, we are a living experience of this kind of structure. With all the problems, with all the issues that expression have. But that's part of it.
How do you discover how people can be needed when they are needed?
Well, right now it's a mix. So we have as I mentioned before, proxy people, or even in teams. So you know who to ask to reach the right person. So the mediation of these two, I feel it probably scales to even thousands of people.
Yeah,
because in the end there is no alternative to that knowledge. So if you know someone that knows the answer, that's fine. You don't need a software, you don't need a tool, you just need a communication channel and where single place exists.
Yeah, indeed. The only technological answer I was ending into, it was artificial intelligence, something that grows all that you've done and all that you are talking about, and that just provides me artificial intelligence in a weak sense. I mean, okay, so Google is intelligent enough already when it's about websites, okay? But I'm quite satisfied with the search, with Google search. I remember the astonishing feeling that I had in 2001 when I used Google for the first time, having used all the other search engines before. But I'm looking for something similar, something that you can use to discover who is caring about what in a given organization. And that would be nice. And that would replace job titles in a second. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. It's 15 minutes now. That's enough. And unless you got something else to add, I'm over.
No, I think that there could be quite a few interesting discussions starting from here as well. So that's probably worth another call later.
Yeah, okay. So I got my pizza coming. Ciao, ciao. Ciao,
Ciao.
Davide. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.